Hey, welcome to Live Stream Reviews.
How's it going, everybody?
Good to have you. I see a lot of you already chiming in on the comments. Want to say hey to a guy and his computer in Michigan. Great to have you, man. Great to have you from Virginia and South Carolina and South Africa, Northern California. We're literally here from all over the globe.
Man, they come from all over, don't they?
I wonder what time it is in South Africa. Let us know. We are in Oklahoma. It is 1 p.m. right now. We just had a great sub sandwich for lunch and having a good time. I think we've got a lot of live stream reviews to get into today. Before we get into the first one, I want to answer a question that comes up every time we do live stream reviews, and that's how do I get my live stream reviewed? This is something that we do for our students, so you simply just need to become a student of our courses and our cheat sheets. And when you become a student, you even get one-on-one support where you can schedule unlimited coaching calls with us for when you run into problems with your mixer or whatever. Lots of great benefits whenever you become a student, including live stream reviews. Link is in the description on how you can sign up. It's $35 a month, and you get access to everything that I just mentioned. It's a sweet deal.
Man, that's awesome.
Yep. So you could schedule a call and talk to Paul whenever you want to.
Talk to me. We'll have a great conversation. It'll be fun.
We love helping you guys out. Our goal here is to make it easy to sound great, and this is one of the best ways that we can do that is to listen to each other's live stream and just talk through, what's the next step of improvement. And just so you know, everybody has a step of improvement that they can make in their live stream, so this is not critical at all of what is going on. This is just us all helping each other go to the next level. So be sure to put in your thoughts in the comments, be constructive in your feedback, and we will all help each other get better. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Who's first?
All right, first up is from Roy Browning from Southwest Church of God. Says the audio in the house sounds decent, but on the live stream, it just doesn't mix well. So let's take a listen.
Because of the tender mercy of our God. You got a chance now. You got a chance in your spiritual life and the spiritual disciplines of reading God's Word, staying in God's Word, praying continually, meeting with the church.
Trying to find that music.
Because again, that invitation was not just to those people.
I like that cool arched beam in the ceiling. I'm imagining that ceiling in that church looks really cool.
To sing our song of invitation. Will you accept?
Okay, here we go. Oh, but that was at the end, wasn't it?
That was it. So, yeah, Mr. Browning, make sure you resend that with some actual sound from your worship team so we can actually help you with that. But I guess right off the bat, his voice sounds good.
Yep. Sounded a little quiet, I think, but yeah, let's have him resubmit that so we can get some music and some more inputs going on there and give you some more feedback. So resubmit that for next time and make sure you send us a service that has music in it. But who's up next, Paul? We'll just move on to the next one.
Well, this next one is from Diego Santos from Paz Church, and he wrote a lot of stuff in a language I don't understand, but Google Translate says he just wants some help with, just with their live stream mix. What can we do? So, just some general information. Here we go.
Só pela tua graça. Como explicar a tua graça?
Sweet. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
You can tell that this is probably its own mix. Like you're probably mixing in a studio type environment because things are really dialed in, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Like if you just leave it just like that, I think everybody's going to be happy, honestly. But if we're going to talk about like how can we get it to the next level, this is probably more of a preference thing for me, not necessarily a correction of the mix. I prefer a mix for worship that is warmer than that. It was a little bit on the harsh side, although it wasn't actually harsh. It was just brighter than I would normally mix. I like more of a warmer, darker sound for worship. Again, probably a preference thing. But if I was to hear that mix and like me specifically was going to go make changes with it, I would add more low end into this mix and warm it up. And I'd also probably like start to shave off some of that 3 kilohertz range. sounded like it was probably on the guitar mainly, a little bit on the vocal. It could be softened up a little bit, but like I said, or you could just leave it just like that, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think, Paul?
I don't have too much to add aside from I see the gates opening up here, really bringing that sound down a lot over here in some of your drums. So maybe drums are playing a little bit too loud at sometimes, and it's doing its job. It's bringing it back, but maybe it doesn't have to activate so much. I'm seeing a lot of this right here. Take a listen again.
Talking about that gain reduction there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look too overdone to me. Drums are one of those things that you can be a little more aggressive on than, like, say, a vocal. It all depends, like, how do they sound, right? They still sound clear.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, they sound really good. I'd like a little more low end on that kick drum, but that's all I would change about the drums.
If you got to feel it, right?
Yeah, I got to feel it a little more.
Even through those phone speakers.
Yep, go forward a little bit and let's listen to a little bit more of that.
Vem atrás de mim. Não é pelo que fiz e nem pelo que sou. O nome disso é graça. Só pela tua graça. Firmado nela estou. Inabalável.
Okay. That's very nice of you to, like, send us a video where you solo things out and we can hear the pieces of the mix. That's really cool. Nobody's ever done that before, so that's awesome. The more I listen to it, the more I would just give you the same advice that I gave you earlier. It feels a little bit sharp to me, which would become tiring to my ears over time, and I was trying to diagnose where the sharpness is coming from. I think it's electric guitar synth somewhere in there would be my guess, is whenever I'm just like, okay, that's just like a little bit much piercing to my ears. I'm okay listening to it for a few seconds, but if it was like constant, then I'd be like, yeah, dial it back a little bit. And it's happening in the 3 kilohertz range. Yep.
No, I've got nothing else.
Awesome.
This is great.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Wow. Really good. Thanks for sending that in. Let's see. While he pulls up the next ones, we have let's see, it looks like Lego Church is asking, how do I submit a live stream? This is something we do for our students, so you'll get a link on how to submit your live stream when you become a student. There's a link in the description on how to do that. We would love to have you. You get more than live stream reviews. You get access to all of our training. You get unlimited one-on-one support where you can schedule coaching calls with us. You get access to all of our cheat sheets. All of that's included in becoming one of we actually call it a sound partner, not a student. So when you partner with us for great sound, you get access to all that. It looks like we have somebody tuning in from Idaho and Nigeria. Awesome. Let's see. Dave is asking, do you guys use hair lighting or backlighting on stage? Someone suggested we use that for our live stream to look better. Any suggestions? Yes, we do use hair lighting and backlighting. That's a great way to... it looks like Dylan is moving it for us right now so that you can see the difference when it's turned off and on. That's a great way to create separation between the person who's in the front and what's behind them in the stage. That light on the back of them creates like more depth to what you see visually. I highly would recommend using hair lighting. It is going to make a big difference in the visuals. It's one of those things that's kind of like a subtle big difference, right? You maybe not like the average person would notice, but whenever you turn it off and on, like Dylan just said, you're like, oh, I can see, especially when there's a lot of darkness in the back. It keeps you from blending in. Yep.
And that's a lot of, appreciation for your lighting guy in the back. So if you got a light volunteer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We thank them.
We do thank them. We want people to see and hear. I focus mostly on the hearing, so I'm just glad to have Dylan who's interested in the seeing part of things. All right, so who do we got up next, Paul?
All right, next up from Jordan Bray from Harvest Bible Church in Des Moines. Says, overall mix sounds a bit muddy, not much clarity between the different instruments and voices. Needs some help.
All right, let's listen in.
Good morning, Harvest family. Why don't we stand up? We're going to start our service off by singing praise to our God and King. That
Okay. You have a good thing going here. There's some really great elements. Drums are sounding good. You said that there's muddiness in the mix, and I definitely hear what you're talking about there, and it's mainly coming from your ambient mics. We are actually hearing more of the lead vocal in the ambient mics, and we're hearing from him directly through his mic. So that's just all an adjustment of levels. You need to bring up the level of the vocals quite a bit in this mix, because right now the instruments are quite a bit louder than even the lead vocal, and something that we always tell our students to keep in mind is the most important part of your mix in a church setting is the lead vocal, because the congregation is there to sing along. So if you focus on anything and you want to nail anything and get it right first, it would be your lead vocal. And in this case, the lead vocal is kind of buried under the mix, so it's something that needs to be corrected moving forward. And really, it was the biggest issue in this mix. Kind of a sub-issue would be that the acoustic guitar was too loud in this mix. So you'd bring the acoustic guitar down and the lead vocal up, and it's going to fix that muddiness problem that you were talking about. You probably need to bring the ambient mics down a little bit as well. The goal with ambience is that that it's there, so that in a way that you would notice if it's missing, but you don't want it to be noticeable that it's there, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want it to be so prominent in the mix that you can pick it out whenever you're listening into things. But if you were to mute it out of the mix, you'd be like, oh, something just left. That sort of thing. That's the goal. So the same thing with reverb, right? So you just turn it up until you can hear it, and then you would turn it back down a little bit so that it blends in with the mix. And that's how you make it something that you'd notice if it's missing, but you don't necessarily notice that it's there. Those two adjustments, bringing down the ambient mics and up the lead vocal, would fix your muddiness problem. There may need to be some EQ on that lead vocal as well. I'm not sure that you have your low cut filter set high enough on him, because he still sounded a little too thick. But if you do have your low cut set at like 180 hertz, that's usually high enough. If the vocal's still too full at that point, you need to use a low shelving filter in conjunction with the low cut filter. You would set that low shelving filter to around 900 hertz, and then you'd bring that down until you get clarity out of the vocal, but you don't remove too much of like the warmth of the vocal. And we're talking about, like, with that shelving filter, you're probably just cutting down like 1 dB, 1.5, 2. I don't think I've ever cut more than 3. Just small adjustments make a big difference whenever you're using that filter to clean up a vocal. What do you think, Paul?
No, I agree with everything. And I think, you got the drums in the cage, which is really nice. They're completely isolated. So instruments-wise, you have a chance to build from the bottom. So, start with your drum and bass, your low ends. Get that solid. And then add the keys. And then you'll know how much guitar you actually need to add in. Because they really should just be, kind of there, floating around on the top. They're not the main thing. You need your rhythm section, and that's your drum and bass, and sometimes your keyboard, but in this case, drum and bass. Get those set.
When it comes to modern worship, the acoustic guitar is usually a texture, what I would call a texture instrument. You're just looking for it to add some texture to some subtle texture to your mix. One of those things that you don't necessarily notice it's there, but you notice if it's missing. A little bit higher than that. Like, I actually do want to be able to hear the acoustic guitar. One of the things that I find weird is whenever you see an instrument on the stage, especially if it's something unusual like a flute or something like that, but then you can't hear it at all. You're just like,
I bet it sounds great in house.
Are they okay? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, you have a great thing going. Just a few things there that'll clean up the muddiness problem for you. Let's go ahead and move along to the next one. Looks like we got somebody else tuning in from Sacramento, California. Great to have you guys. Somebody's asking if they can submit a live stream here. Again, this is something that we do for our students. So if you want to submit your live stream, we call it our sound partner. There's a link in the description on how you can do that. You'll get access to these live stream reviews, as well as all of our cheat sheets and all of our training and one-on-one support when you need it. You get all kinds of great things whenever you partner with us. So check that out, link in the description, and then we can get your live stream reviewed the next time. Who do we got up next?
Well, before we do that, I want to say Jeremiah from Calvary Prescott, the link you sent us also did not have any worship. It was just speaking. It looks like a worship band was coming in at the very end, and then we missed you.
Well, let's listen to that speaking real quick, and we can just give some tips even on that.
We began the book of Esther a few months back. The last time that I taught was in October. I think it was October 22nd was the last time I had that opportunity. And on that evening, we finished the last 5 verses.
Okay. He sounds good, nice and clear. we don't even talk about like setting the pastor's mic much on these live stream reviews because we're always listening to music. I hear a little bit too much ambience in this mic, and that just leads to the question of, is this headset mic that he's using, is it omnidirectional or is it a cardioid pickup pattern? If it's omnidirectional, it's just going to pick up the noise of the room. That's just how it is. And you could try to use gating to solve that. I don't normally recommend that because it takes really fine skill to set a gate on a mic like that and it not sound weird.
Right.
But if you're using ambient mics with the pastor, I would dial back those ambient mics. This is kind of an advanced technique, but I'm going to bring it up right now anyway. With ambient mics during a pastor speaking, you really only want to pick up the crowd's response, not the echo of the room. Like, we don't want any echo added to a single speaking mic. We don't want any ambience added to a speaking mic. It just sounds weird. So in that case, what you could do is on your ambient mics, you could use a gate on your ambient mics with a range, like a really small range. Like, I'm thinking like a 6 to 12 dB range. That way, when the gate's activated, it's only bringing the level down, 6 dB. That way, and you'd find the point to where the audience is loud enough to open that gate up and let the crowd, like they clap or something like that, right? And so you let that come through. A little bit more of an advanced technique, but it'd be something fun to play with to clean up this mix if that's something that you're going for. What do you think, Paul?
I'm with you. Those headset mics are very, very sensitive. So
they're hard to get them to sound right. It's one of those things that I recommend people invest a lot of money into a great headset mic if your pastor is insistent on using a headset. My favorite is the DPA 4088. It has a cardioid pickup pattern, so it's only picking up in front of the mic. I have one myself, but I don't use it because a handheld mic still sounds better than an $800. Actually, I think they're $1,000 now, and that's just for the mic, not even the wireless pack. $1,000 DPA 4088. Nevertheless, some pastors are like, I will not hold a mic, and if that's the case, then the DPA 4088, in my opinion, is the only option if you want him to sound as best as possible with a headset mic. Omnidirectional is a no-go for churches. Feedback horrors. Have you ever tried to make somebody live with a lapel mic?
Oh, yes. Especially in
They're
theater.
like, can you turn me up? And you're like, nope, that's all we got before we hit feedback. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
All right, next one we've got is David Behringer from Trinity UMC. Said, just want good sound from the praise band. So let's see if we can get you some good sound from the praise band.
Marched in all your glory into the heart of Rome. Show them splendor like they'd never known. But you wrote a better story in humble Bethlehem, creator in the arms of common man. You will die for our redemption, and you'll rise so we can live. Glory be to you alone, King who reigns from a manger throne.
Okay. Lead vocal sounds good. You got him mixed well. I like the reverb that you're using on him, so great job on both of those things. You talked about the praise band specifically, and that is kind of like the weak spot with this, is you're not really hearing a lot of the band. There's not really any fullness in this mix, and it's also too quiet. I don't know if you notice how much quieter it is than the others we've been listening to today, so that's something that you'll want to solve, because I imagine people are really cranking their phone volume up while they're trying to watch this live stream or their TV, and they're still not getting the volume that they need. So I'm not going to address the details of how to fix that, because you'll find that information in the courses. So between now and next Sunday, go into the courses. There's a live stream Mix Made Simple course, and in that course, there's a video in there that'll teach you how to get the most volume out of your live stream. It's a combination of getting compression right on all of your channels, as well as putting compression and a limiter on the overall live stream mix. So go review those videos, apply what you learn, and if you still run into problems squeezing more volume out of your mix, schedule a one-on-one coaching call with us, and we'll help you get that fixed up. But once we get the volume, like even if the volume was up on this mix, the mix needs some adjustment anyway. Like the vocal is plenty loud enough, but there's no support around the vocal of the instruments. I heard the piano. That's pretty much all that I heard, and it could be louder. So we need way more bass guitar. We need what else we got in there? I see an electric guitar's in there.
Yep.
The drums, I could hear the snare and the cymbals, but I could not hear the kick drum. So I mean, there's the low end elements of this mix were pretty much non-existent. And whenever you don't have kick drum and bass guitar where they need to be in a mix, which they should be a very prominent part of the mix, if they're not there, you're missing a big chunk of the frequency spectrum. So if you say a full sound is from like down here to up here, you're maybe giving us a little more than half of what's available. And so that's why your mix doesn't sound like big and energetic. So those low frequency instruments would be where I'd put my focus. I see you're using electronic drums. This is as simple as going into the head unit on your electronic drums and making sure the balance is correct between the different drums, the kick drum, the snare, the cymbals. That can take some time and fine tuning to get that right. You'll have to work with your drummer and say, hey, I need more kick drum, let him program some more in there, and then you just work until you get it all, at the levels that you want it to be. Bring up your bass guitar a lot in this mix. I would just turn off the vocals. If I were in your room, I would pull down the vocals and I would just listen to the instruments, and I would get a nice full sound out of the instruments, and then I'd start layering my vocals back in. And that's one of the best ways to get your instrumental mix correct. What do you think, Paul?
You're on the money. The only thing I would add, and man, I don't want to add too much, but everything kind of sounded dry. And so later on, once we get the mix dialed in, then we can start working on effects and things to add into that, especially with that drum kit. But get the
instrumental-wise, it sounded dry, right?
Right.
We had good reverb on the lead vocal.
Yeah, lead vocal.
But it didn't seem like it was
great,
anywhere else.
But everywhere else was just dry. And so I wanted more. I wanted to feel like I was in the room. I'm just not there. But before that, get the bass guitar, get the drums, get everything set right, and then we'll worry about the effects. So I would say resubmit this once you add those in and see what kind of improvements.
Give the bass guitar some love.
Please.
All right. Thanks for sending that in. May have sounded like a lot the way we just described it, but those are actually just really simple changes that you can make that'll make a huge difference. So keep moving forward. You will get where you want to go. Let's go ahead and pull up the next one, Paul.
All right. The next one is from Eric at World Gospel Church. Says, my live stream always lacks the kick. Here it is again. You will listen. So it's playing, yet in the house, you have to feel it. The in-house sound lacks some sweetness. I'm still finding it hard to sweep through the frequencies on the XR18 to extend that in the mic. So let's take a listen.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. I always love hearing different styles of music. Did it say where they were from in their submission? Do we ask that information?
I didn't see.
Okay, it'd be really interesting to know. All right, so a couple of things you need to do to take this mix to the next level is, first of all, I was listening to your keyboard, and it's panned all the way to the left. You only have one instrument, and in that case, you don't want to do any panning at all, so bring that piano right back to the center so it can occupy more of that mix. I did hear the kick drum that you were talking about. It was very subtle in the back. I was listening for it. It sounds good. Like the actual sound of it is good. It needs a little more clarity to it, but I couldn't even see what kind of kick drum you're actually using there. So it just seems like it needs more volume. Like just bring it up in your mix, and that should fix the problem. But if you're maxing out the volume of it and it's still not loud enough, that would make me wonder why and what's going on. So if that's the case, either send us an email or schedule a coaching call with us so that we can actually see what's going on and we can fix that problem. The other thing I noticed is with the vocals, they sound too harsh. So they need some EQ in the upper end. I would be interested to see what your EQ looks like on the vocals. Like, are you boosting in that upper register? If that's the case, then all you need to do is stop boosting and level that out. It's unusual to hear a vocal that needs a cut in the upper register, but it does happen. Like out of the, I think, 5 vocalists that we have here at our church, one of them requires a cut in the upper range. So, but then again, I guess there's a chance that you could get all vocals that have just a harshness inherently to their voice. And that's not like a criticism. It's just like the tonality of their voice. Whenever you amplify it through speakers, it just comes through as harsh, right? And so that's what EQ's there for, so that we can, shape that sound a little bit to make it sound better as it's reinforced. So where harshness comes from is the 3 kilohertz range. So that's where you want to look at in these vocals. I heard it kind of in all of these vocals. So I would put a peaking filter at 3 kilohertz, set the Q value to around 3 or 4, and then just cut that out until the harshness goes away. It's probably going to be about a 3 to 4 dB cut if I had to guess. But again, you adjust with the level and use your ears to determine how far that should go. Don't just do 3 or 4 dB because I told you a number. It's all about hearing, right? We're listening and we're making adjustments. Yep. But yeah, so that's going to make this whole mix sound better to get those vocals right. Because when things are harsh in a mix, it just becomes, it distracts the whole mix. And then the 3 kilohertz range is so irritating to the human ear when it's too much. I mean, it's just, and this is to everybody, that whenever you're irritated in that range, it just makes people it gives them a bad attitude. You know what I mean? That's why people walk out of the room. They're like, that was too loud and my ears hurt. And they're not talking about the whole thing was too loud. When somebody at your church tells you that the sound is too loud, they're not talking about the whole volume overall. They're talking about a specific frequency range was too loud in the room. And it's usually, if people are irritated, it's usually 3 kilohertz.
Every time.
And that's why we have Room EQ Made Simple, which is one of our courses when you become a sound partner that teaches you how to EQ your room to make sure that it's never harsh, that you always get a nice, warm, full sound in the room and also in the live stream.
Yep.
So, yeah. What do you think, Paul?
Nothing to add here. That was the first thing I noticed was that hard pan to the left. And I was like, please come back to the center. But
yep.
We get that done, and then I think you can get these vocals fixed up. And I'd like to see, I see only 2 mics, but if you had some more, it'd be nice to get some more in there so you can mix in some more voices.
I think those others are just dancers, though.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm hearing other singers. Or maybe it's ambience, maybe it's the audience. Yeah. So, but other than that, nothing much.
Yeah, thanks for sending that in. Bring up your kick drum, the volume of it. You don't really necessarily need to make any other changes there, just more volume, and then fix the harshness of your vocals, and you'll be like, okay, now we're getting there. All right, let's go ahead and move along to the next one.
All right, next one is from Emmanuel Timothy from Tag Upendo Revival Christian, and says, gears I can use to make both my live stream and sound at church. Sounds awesome. Okay, let's take a listen.
Ombi langu Bwana wangu, peke yangu sitaweza. Uwepo wako Bwana uwe nami. Ombi langu Bwana wangu, peke yangu sitaweza.
All right, scrub forward a little bit. Let's see if we can get some more instruments to come in here.
Dua ya maisha yangu, uwepo wako Bwana. Oh, ombi langu Yesu, ombi langu Bwana wangu, peke yangu, Bwana Yesu, uwepo wako.
Awesome. Thanks for sending this in. I wonder what language that is. I love hearing different languages. It's really cool.
It's always awesome.
Let's see. So the lead vocal in this one is way too loud compared to everything else. We teach you to put the lead vocal always on the top of the mix, but whenever we say on top, we're talking about like right on top. And right now your lead vocal is like, woo, she's in the stratosphere. She's like way louder than everybody else. So that's the main adjustment that needs to be made here. We need to bring the band. Well, the relation of the background vocals to the lead vocal, I'd say, was pretty much right. don't you think?
Yeah, I thought
Level-wise?
so.
Yeah.
I could hear a few, I would always like a few more things like these. You got some congas back here, and there's some drum set could use a little bit more, but
So some love to the instruments. That's what we need here. They were like,
I heard an electric guitar playing, but I wasn't sure if that was tracks because I can't see them.
it's almost like they were in like even another room. It's like, you instruments stay over there, we the vocals. You know what I mean?
And they got a lot of vocals and a lot of mics up here. But I gotta throw in, dude, the background vocals, that sounded nice.
Yeah, it did sound
greatly
nice.
mixed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So well done on that.
Greatly mixed, greatly EQ'd. I think the thing that would take even the background vocals to the next level is to bring some reverb into that vocal mix. Your vocal mix would be solid with just a little bit of reverb. And then all it is taking your instrumental mix, which is down here, your vocal mix, which is up here, and bring them together. You still want your vocals on the top, but just barely on the top. A lot of energy. The greatness of a mix comes from everybody being in the right place in the mix. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Bring your instruments up. I would say you're great on vocals, so just be like, got that nailed down. We said this earlier, but a great way to mix your instruments is just to take your vocals out of the mix during a rehearsal. Like, let them keep singing and whatever, but just turn them all the way down, and then listen to your instruments by themselves and be like, am I getting fullness from this instrumental mix? And then you mix it until you get fullness, and then you layer your vocals back in on top of that, and then you'll have something really great.
Yeah. Then you can resubmit it, and we'd love to hear some more.
Absolutely. Thanks for sending that in. I want to say welcome to Joseph from Maui, Hawaii. Great to have you. It's been a while since I've been to Maui. I've actually only been once, and it was great, and I loved it. I don't know if I'd go back because the flight was awful. But it was an awesome trip. It's great to have you, Joseph. All right, who do we got next?
All right, next up we got Jeremiah Kinsey from Calvary Prescott. Just issues with lighting and sound.
Okay.
So...
See you all. Let's go ahead and stand to our feet. I want to welcome you to kind of bow at his feet. He has done great things. See what a Savior has done. See how his love overcomes. He has done great things. He has done great things.
Okay. I want to see a different camera angle if we have one in there, but first I'll comment on the sound side of things. The first thing that I noticed whenever I listened was that the vocal sounds unnatural, like it's EQ'd to a place of unnatural sounding, which is something that we don't want. It sounds like to me that you were trying to get a lot of clarity out of it, and you accomplished a lot of clarity, and there's not even a lot of harshness, which is a hard thing to do, to get clarity without harshness like that. So you nailed that aspect of it. It's just those super high frequencies, I'm thinking this is probably 6 kilohertz and up, are so boosted or so enhanced, or you're using some kind of effect on it that it actually pushes it over into the unnatural sound of things. And we need some more warmth added to this vocal. We need it to sound more authentic. I want to say that you're using an effect on this lead vocal that's making it sound like that. I don't foresee that being just an EQ thing. So if you have an effect on it to bring that clarity into, I'm trying to think of what effect that could be. There's all kinds of effects on mixers these days. But I would either remove it or not use as much of it. And that would make that lead vocal sound more authentic, more natural, but still clear. The instrumental mix was sounding great. Lead vocal in this mix was still a little bit too loud compared to the rest of the mix. Like the volume of the lead vocal could be brought down a little bit, and it still sit on top of the mix. The instrumental mix, I think, sounded great. It just had a little bit too much reverb on it, so it sounded a little bit swimmy and swirly as you were listening to it. It needed more focus to the mix. And two things to fix that. Use less reverb, not a whole lot less, but use less reverb on those things. And I would also adjust the decay time on this reverb. I think the decay was too long. And the decay time is how long a reverb tails off. And it sounds like your decay was probably greater than 4 seconds or somewhere around 4 seconds. And I would dial that back to maybe 3.5, and it would tighten up this mix a little bit. What do you think, Paul?
No, those are all great points. I want to say we talked about it a few times about the acoustic guitar, and we wanted to be that part of the mix. I like the acoustic guitar in this mix. This is where it needs to be. It's that
Awesome.
That kind of background. It's that
texture
instrument that we really wanted. So if you're looking for an example of that, I thought that was a really good mix here. I wanted to see a couple of other angles, and here's another one because she had some other issues. And I'm not seeing too much as far as, I'm not the lighting guy, but what I do notice is that I see a lot of darkness over here, and, vocal is really bright. And so that could just be a replacement of lights that are focusing on your instrumentalist in the back.
See, Paul kind of wants, I think, probably all the people to be evenly lit, and that's a stylistic thing. So if Paul was running lighting, everybody to be evenly lit.
Yeah, we all need to be seen. But I'm the guitar player, and I get hidden in the corner.
Yeah, so he's letting us know where he's hurting right now.
I know.
Can I get some more light over here on me in the back? Usually in lighting, like not everybody's evenly lit. It's lit in stages. It's kind of like if you look at visuals as sound, where there's layers of sound. Some things are louder, some things are quieter. It all depends, where you want it layered. So to me, like the front lighting looks good. The only concern that I see with lighting is that the background, the LED walls or TVs or whatever those are too bright compared to the front. So there's a competition there. Whenever to my eye, the focus should be the brightest thing on the screen, and right now the brightest thing is the background, which we don't want to be the focus. So we've seen this as a common issue with LED walls and things like that people will install them and they'll just leave them at like 100% brightness, and it probably looks awesome in the room. Although I've been to a church where they had it at 100% brightness, and you felt like you were looking into the sun, so you almost couldn't even look at the stage.
Yeah, maybe I'll sit in the back row.
Maybe I'll sit in the back row. I was like, that's really bright. Wow. But cameras really determine how bright you can run your LED wall in a room. I think ours is set to like 40%. What is it, Dylan? Is it around 40% brightness? Yeah, so we're only using 40% of its brightness because we want to make sure that the people who are standing in the front of the stage are the brightest thing in the shot. So I would dial back the brightness of that background. It'll probably fix what you perceive to be your lighting problems.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's carry on to the next one. Thanks for sending that in. Aaron's saying it sounds like he was hearing a chorus effect on the vocal, and yeah, maybe that's what it was. I'm just not quite sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's an effect on that's doing that. Those shenanigans. Aaron also said he wanted more snare.
Everybody wants more snare.
Give me some more snare. Thanks for the input, Aaron. He said, I bet it sounded amazing in the room. Absolutely. All right, who we got up next?
All right, next up we got Alex from Calvary Baptist Church. Just lighting ideas and musical mixing using an X32.
Sweet. Great mixer still. I'd use an X32 any day.
If I can get you to play here we go.
We got ambient mics, sounds like.
Into a desert way, God in grace came to restore and bring us home. Let the redeemed of God rise up and sing. Let's stand. We give thanks, oh God, for your steadfast love. We give thanks, oh God, for you are good. Lord, you are good. We give thanks.
All right. I hear what I call Zoom shenanigans going on in this. Sometimes people run their mix through Zoom to get it to go on live, and Zoom has this built-in audio shenanigans.
Yeah.
That applies some kind of like gating, and it's trying to clean up the background noise and stuff like that. And whenever it does that to music, it really wrecks everything. It sounds like that to me. It sounds like that's what's going on. So I'm wondering, are you running this through Zoom? Or if not, then there's some kind of gating issues going on here. Especially with the piano, it felt like it was being gated weirdly, and so it wasn't coming through. Just overall, it sounded unnatural to me, and I want to say that it has to be an issue like that. Even if you're not using Zoom, maybe whatever live stream software you're using has some kind of background elimination thing, and it's totally wrecking what you're trying to accomplish What do you
Yeah.
think that it is?
I think it's, and this link specifically is Facebook. And what I found about Facebook is that it loves to compress it down to an audio size or to a file that it is readable with a phone. And that's, it's such great audio through a phone, isn't it? I know some of us can just lay it on the table and play and jam out, but Facebook loves to compress that as far as it can go. And what you're talking about are those issues. I've seen that multiple times. And a lot of you guys have emailed in asking what's wrong, and it's usually Facebook. YouTube has its own compression too, but I think you get some options. But Facebook, I don't think you get those options right now. Hopefully soon.
It's going to wreck your sound. Not wreck it, but like Facebook and YouTube, they're going to compress it, and they're going to like take the quality down a notch, no matter who's submitting their live stream. So the whole goal is to make sure that what you're sending to YouTube, what you're sending to Facebook is of the utmost quality, so that by the time they shave off a layer of quality, nobody really notices.
Yeah.
I would recommend that you schedule a coaching call with us so that we can see your setup and what layers this thing is going through that might be causing the problem. Because this may sound great, like if you plug in headphones to your mixer, you're like, it does not sound like this whenever I'm actually mixing it. But then by the time it gets online, this is what it sounds like. So let us help you get to the bottom of that. But that really needs to be fixed before we can talk about much of anything else, because it's just...
Yeah, because I'm missing so much. I'm missing low end, which I know you got to be playing on the piano. I'm seeing him hit the snare drum, but I'm not really hitting it. So was it Aaron who wanted more snare drum? We need more snare drum. So on this one.
So yeah, schedule a coaching call with us. We'll walk you through some of those things. You can resubmit your live stream, and then we can move on from there. But no worries. We'll help you get to the bottom of it. There is a solution for sure.
Always. All right. We got time for one more?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Next up, we've got Andrew Pierce from Hope for Today says, having female vocalists cut through without being overpowering. Also, all of a sudden, having frames drop out. Been using the paid Reaper for 4 years. No issues until now. Have only upgraded the limiter on the master bus to level 4. So let's take a listen and watch.
Stay history. Death is beaten, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. Empty cross, the empty grave. Life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. Try, let's sing it out. He's alive. And oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same.
All right.
Wherever I am today.
Paul doesn't want to stop listening to that guitar. He's like, listen, really good guitar player.
I was jamming out. Sorry.
This is a good mix. We got some low end now. I was like, yeah, now we got some low end going on. Let's see. What's a little bit confusing about this mix is if you were just close your eyes and listen, you're like, I'm in a huge arena right now. You know what I mean? Like huge,
Yeah.
like I'm talking about the arenas that seat like 30,000 people, you know? And so you're rocking out, and then you open your eyes and you're like, oh, I'm at a smaller church. You know what I mean? And so whenever we use reverb and things like that, we have to keep that in mind, that there has to be a correlation between what we're seeing and what we're hearing. And in this case, there's a big gap. It doesn't have to be exactly. It's not like you have to aim for exactly how it sounds in your room. It can sound a little bit bigger. It just can't sound like a lot bigger. You know what I mean? And so I would dial back the reverb in this mix, probably shorten the decay time, use less of it so that it feels, so that what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing doesn't conflict so much with each other. The mix was just really powerful, for lack of a better term. But like I said, it was just a mismatch with what I was seeing, and that would throw me off. Electric guitar is a great player, like really great, but he was a little bit loud in the mix to a point of a distraction from the mix. So I would bring the level of the guitar down, and I think it would make the whole mix like just make perfect sense. If less reverb, less electric guitar, and all of a sudden that mix is just like flawless. Because there's a lot of great things in that mix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Paul?
Two things.
I loved it. Can I get some more of that guitar?
I want some more. Yeah, it's great. I guess.
Paul's a guitar player, in case you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If we have to find something. Microphone training on this. So I see some great stuff going on where the mic is really close, and then when we start to sing loud, we back away. And, we're singing louder, so we think we need to back away a little bit. And maybe that can be fixed with some gain and using that full power actually in a rehearsal so we can get that set to a level that's going to sound good. So when you're singing loud, and then if you needed to turn up later with the fader because they're singing softer, but get the gain set on their loudest point. You want to get them comfortable because you want that mic up here every time. And there's a lot of times, even with the girls, when they brought the mic up, I heard them. They were there, but as soon as they pulled away, I missed out. And then I'm going to say something that Dylan's going to, he's going to get me for this later, but.
Uh-oh.
And I love him, but there's too much cymbal. Oh no.
Really?
Oh no. It's not me saying it.
Paul plays drums too, and usually we're getting on to him for that.
The cymbals are my favorite. I mean, they are my favorite thing as far as drums go, and I'm always being yelled at. It's too much, too much, too much. It can be fixed with some sticks, but looks like you've got electronic cymbals here, so you can bring those down easily with that little box that you have on the side if you got specified levels or something in the mixer.
Yeah.
But cymbals, too much, and that's probably the first time I've ever said that.
Are you going to be okay? Are you going to make it through the rest of the day after that came out of your mouth?
I don't know. I may need to spend some quiet time.
That's awesome. Thanks for sending that in. I mean, that was the last one for today. We're out of time for today, but we'll be doing this again soon. And if you want to get your live stream reviewed, make sure to become one of our sound partners. There's a link in the description on how to do that. You get more than live stream reviews. You also get access to all of our training, all of our courses that make it easy to sound great, our cheat sheets, and unlimited access to one-on-one support where you can schedule coaching calls with us, and we will walk you through any problems that you're facing with your sound at church. We greatly appreciate everybody who submitted. I know it takes some humility to submit your live stream for everybody to listen to and give their feedback on, but I'm proud of you for doing it. That's how we get better, is we just open ourselves up to the feedback of others, and we help each other out. So I love all the different languages and styles, and
oh yeah,
I'm just always blessed by doing these. How about you?
Oh, I love it. It's so great, and just world music in general. I mean, bring it on. I want to hear more because it helps me learn, and if I can learn, then I can better learn, and we can better serve you. So that's
Yep. I don't think Paul ever has a quiet moment in his life. If he's not listening to this stuff, then he's got earbuds in, listening to some kind of music. I enjoy the quiet because I have 5 kids and 5 small kids, and there's a lot of talking at my house. So any quiet moments that I get are just quiet.
Yeah, I don't have kids yet, so that day is coming.
That day is coming. All right. We could probably sit here and chit-chat, and we probably already lost them all anyway. Just by,
Yep.
Yeah. Great to have you guys. We'll see you again soon. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.